If you want to learn exactly how to get grades like these or grades like these, then just keep watching this video. And if you don't know me, my name is Jafar. I'm a second-year university student at one of the best universities in the world. And over the last few years, I've been learning exactly how to become the most efficient student while also being on self-improvement and hitting my other goals in life. And so if you keep watching this video, I can promise you that you'll learn my 7-stay study method for my exams that has been reliably getting me good grades in my easy classes and my hard classes, and it works in more than one subject as well. And so I'll stop yapping and I'll just get into the point. And so the way that I've been studying for my exams is day one, just familiarizing myself with the content. And so if I have any notes written down on the textbook readings that I have, or on the lecture notes, or even if I have the lecture slides, it's even better, especially if they're good lecture slides given by your professor or by your teacher, you want to do that. And so day one and day two, I split the note reading. And so day one, I'd read half of the notes, day two, read the second half of the notes. And the goal of day one and two is not to completely memorize the information, but just to make myself familiar and understand the concepts. And so you want to make sure to clear any doubts about the concepts that are on the test before you actually start to get to memorize and also practice questions that might be on the test. And so once I've gone through all the notes and also cleared all my doubts when it comes to the concepts that are testable on the exam, then I move on to day three, in which I start doing practice exams. And so this is the bulk of my studying technique. Basically 20%, maybe 30% max reading notes, and more like 70 to 80% just doing practice questions, practice exams. And this is honestly proven by science, first of all. And bro, in my experience, has helped me so much with actually just retaining information and performing on the exams. And so beforehand, you might want to actually start collecting any exams that you might find on the internet, any past exams that are given by your teacher, any questions that might be on the textbook that are actually really good for the test. And so you just want to collect as many of those as possible. And then in day three, you're going to start digging at them. And so if I actually collect a good chunk of those documents, then I want to do half of them on day three and then the other half on day four. And that way I'm not going to overwhelm myself. Like, I might have other things to do during the day. I have classes, I have other things to do, I need to go to the gym. And so I'm not going to study 5 hours every single day. Rather, split all the studying into 7 days. And that way I don't have to study more than 2 hours each day. And so that's exactly what we're going to do for day 3 and 4. Just go over practice questions, practice exams, most preferably, because past exams are going to have questions that are going to be really similar to the test that you might have. And what you really want to do is focus on the questions that you get wrong. Just like note down the questions you get wrong. We're going to get back to those later. Like the questions that you keep getting right, you're most probably going to remember them on exam day. But the ones that you keep getting wrong, you might actually get confused and not remember exactly how to solve them. And so in day 5, that's when I actually go over the questions that I noted down that I kept getting wrong. I basically just keep practicing them again, asking ChatGPT or on the internet, like, how to solve this, what this concept actually means, what the question is really asking, and just making sure I actually understand the question, especially if it's like a word problem, like a short answer question. Then I just want to make sure that I pinpoint it down and that I'm confident if it came on the test. And so day 6, it's more of a lighter review, and that's when I actually just go over all the practice questions again, if I can. And usually day 6 is probably the easiest day because, I'm just going over questions that I did in day 3, 4, and 5. And so it's really fresh in my memory, but just to make sure that I have all the information in my head. And then in day 7, it's still a lighter day, but what I do is basically using active recall. I try to draw any diagrams that might be beneficial on the test. Maybe there's formulas that I need to memorize, that I'm gonna start writing them down. Maybe there's like lists and steps that are gonna help me remember the concepts even better. And so let's say, for example, you're doing DNA replication. You might want to actually memorize the steps in which DNA replication happens, and that way it will help you remember the information for the test. And then you might want to actually draw the diagram of DNA replication, noting down all the different parts and the enzymes and the factors that actually go into that process. I'm just using DNA replication as an example because I had a test on it like last week. And so that's exactly how I studied for it. It's just drawing the diagram, making steps, lists, and that actually really helped me with preparing for the exam. And so if you actually use this 7-day method, then you will notice a big increase in how much memory you retain. And instead of cramming all the information into the last 2 days, studying 10 hours every single day, we got in, like, you can easily get around 15 hours of studying if you just put that across 7 days, doing approximately 2 hours each day. And if you have an easier test, and you can just spend 1 hour a day and only get 7 hours of studying. And so this method actually applies for any difficulty of test and pretty much any subject as well. And so if you want to learn more on how to become an efficient student and also just hit your goals in your self-improvement journey, then the first link in the description is my free community that's full of men who are doing the same exact thing that you want to do. And so hopefully I'll see you there. Take care, boss.